Hello and welcome to another edition of Strategic Gaming. My name is Mac Taylor, here to talk to you about Survivor Island of the Idols, Episode 6. And what a fantastic episode it was. It really has been a great season so far. I really don't think there's been a whole lot of just like straightforward kind of dud votes. Like it really has been a lot of like, it could go this way or it could go this way. And, whether or not that was the best move for certain people is, differential. But I am definitely enjoying this season so far. So, without further ado, we start out with Nora talking to Dean about we should take out Jamal. And Dean's like, oh yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And then runs right to Jamal. Because he's like, Nora's a crazy person and I cannot trust her. And this goes back to Nora is so wishy-washy and so Nora that nobody really wants to work with her long-term except for Jason, which we'll see by the end of this episode. That doesn't mean much either. So Jamal's like, yeah, obviously she has no, pull in this game. And Dean's like, yeah, I'm with you and Jack for sure. And then Tommy, on the Vokai side, he like kind of gives Jason a little hard time. Like, he's not going to never have a date or whatever. And I was a little like, ouch, come on, Tommy. A little rough. And Elizabeth, we have another fun moment with Elizabeth seeing a spider under the shelter and freaking out. Because it has been, for Vokai, has been like this honeymoon phase. Like the Vokai tribe, even pre-swap, they didn't lose a lot, But when they do lose, it's awesome with the votes. I do have to say that. And there's a lot of talk on Vokai about rocks. Will they go to rocks? And Aaron's immediately like, nope, not going to go to rocks. I'm with the Vokai people. And he's telling Tommy and Jason and Lauren, like, I'm with you. And they're like, are you sure? And they're like, well, we would like to vote out Elaine. He's like, yeah, totally. You want to vote out Elaine? He's like, I'd rather not vote out Missy or Elizabeth, but yeah, Elaine is perfect. I totally vote out Elaine. So Aaron is like super quick to turn coat, to avoid rocks, which I get it. You don't want to go to rocks because it could be you. Whereas, like, if he just votes Elaine out, it's not him. It's guaranteed to not be him. I understand that move, but to really just to be so vocal about it so early, it's like, oh, maybe you should hold back a little bit. So we get this reward challenge where you have to, like, you have to carry a person to a slingshot, and they have to slingshot these targets. And the reward is for chickens. And Vokai sits out Elaine, and she's the one that has to go to Island of the Idols. And Vokai ends up winning a reward, and Dan's very confident. Like, hey, even if we lose, Aaron's turncoating, like, things are looking very good for us right now. And I feel like anyone who goes into this kind of confessional super confident, it usually is undermined by what happens in the episode. So at the Island of the Idols, Rob is building like a multi-story shelter. He's building a huge shelter, which in his preseason interview he said he was gonna do. And it does look really good. Like Rob, I mean, what else are they supposed to do, at the Island of the Idols? They have nothing to do besides they get a little bit, like, to talk to the people on the island a little bit, and then they get to watch the tribals. That's pretty much all they get to do. There's no game for them. I bet half their conversations is speculating on what's happening in the game. So, I can understand it probably gets extremely boring. So, Elaine gets there. And Rob's like, all right, you're going to have till this hourglass to make this deal. And then she's like, deal. And he's like, you don't even know what I've offered you yet. And she's like, deal, don't care. I'm here to play Survivor. And he's like, oh, man, she's such an eager beaver. And, being that enthusiastic and that impulsive, like he does say, it could totally be a good thing. It could totally be positive. it could also be very bad. But what she has to do is that at their next immunity challenge under a table, there will be an advantage in the game, which is to block a vote. So this 4-4 rock draw tie they have can be stopped if she gets this advantage. But if she doesn't get it, she loses her vote and pretty much guarantees that she will go home. So it really is do or die for her here. So she takes that information and runs it back to Elizabeth and says, here's what we're going to do. Here's the advantage. We can use it to our advantage to keep, Lyra strong. And Elizabeth's like, yeah, I will try to divert attention away from you so you can get that advantage. So she does have some help in trying to get this. Because Elizabeth's been to the Island of the Idols. So now it's really the first time we see two people really talking about the Island of Idols together. In Elizabeth and Elaine. So, they trust each other. They're able to talk openly about Island of the Idols. And now Elizabeth is going to try to help Elaine get that advantage in the game, which is a very good thing. And on the actual Lyro tribe, Jack makes a comment about do-rags, and then him and Jamal have this conversation about privilege and maybe not knowing the things that you say, the impact that they have, and things like that. Because, and just like Jamal says, with Jack, it's so innocent. He has no idea. He had no idea what he said. Could have been taken like that, but he knew immediately, like, oh shit, I did not mean to say it like that. And, at least looked like Jamal had an opportunity to try to teach Jack a little bit about the other side of the coin, and also maybe even the audience a little bit that may not know about those kind of issues or may not talk about those certain issues of privilege and things like that, and appreciation of things and whatnot. So it was Survivor before the strategy was essentially a social experiment. And this, still goes into the category of people from different walks of life learning something about each other and taking something away from the game beyond the game. So that was a very nice moment to have. So the immunity is they have to dig into this cage, carry the cage, untie these balls, and then shoot 5 balls into these. It's like a basketball type deal right down on a slanted wall. And Vokai has a lead, and Elaine gets the advantage from under the table, drops it, picks it back up, but does get it, secured. So Elaine does have the advantage, which is big. And for a while, Vokai was way ahead, but struggled with the basketball part of it, and Jamal did pick up a lot of slack, and so Lyro, I put Jamal on Lyro because he really did a lot of that end work there, but they win immunity for the first time in a long time, which means the most interesting thing that could have happened, which is seeing this rock draw get blocked and turn into, see the tides of the game change, is going to happen instead of just being, it's either probably going to be Nora, Dean, or Karishma. There's no in between. It's not really, there's not much speculation. And Elaine, she's pumped, not because she could save herself and get herself further in the game, but that she can help the Lyro tribe. Because Elaine, in her bio preseason, said she wanted to be a female Rupert. And I really do see that coming to fruition because she is, a very likable, charismatic personality. And also, she is supremely loyal. In Pearl Islands, Rupert was all about the Drake tribe. And I think Elaine is all about the Lyro tribe. Even if they're not all about her. And I think that will ultimately be her downfall in the game. But here she is very excited that she can give them an edge. So, Jason and Tommy, they also, and Lauren, they think it's an easy vote. Like, they think, Elaine's fate is sealed, and they're just going to walk away Vokai. And really, not Jason, but Lauren and Tommy, everything's gone their way up to this point. So it's a little, they kind of have an air to them that they haven't had to face a lot of adversity in the game yet. And so Elaine takes this, block a vote advantage to tell Missy and Aaron so that they don't flip on her and vote her anyway, and then she still go home even if she blocks a vote. So, and it seems Aaron's still like, oh, maybe I do, maybe I don't. But Missy's like, yep, I'm in. Like, immediately, like, that's all I needed. Now that I know we can do it, I'm in. I totally want to stay with you guys. So, there is this interesting, like, who's going? And they kind of discuss who it could be. They talk about Lauren because she's very strategic. Jason, he's very strategic. Tommy is a physical threat and also seems to be the most cemented within the Vokai tribe. And then Dan, and they just show a clip of this, that Dan's been like kind of feeling people's bags and going through their shit all the time and gets caught all the time. Why are you doing this, Dan? Like, I know it's a thing in Survivor to look through someone's bag to see if they have an idol, but it's usually something you do with the group. You don't just do it on your own and then get caught all the time. You don't have to do it every day. It's a little much. It's like Dan makes a lot of really big mistakes, but usually because he's cemented within the Vokai tribe, he's okay. And at Tribal, Jeff's like, oh my gosh, it's gonna be a rock draw, and all the Vokai people like, we are 100% ready to go to rocks. And Tommy's like, hey, if you guys one of you wants to vote with us, you will be taken in by the Vokai people. And Elaine's like, that's very easy for you to say because it still benefits you. Which is a completely valid point. And Elaine's basically leading the charge. Like, it's us against you. A very Rupert-esque move. And Elaine pulls out her block of vote. She's like, I don't like rocks. Says she's going to block Jason's vote. Everyone in Vokai's like, oh my god. So whispering happens. And, like, Jason tries to go for a fist bump. And Aaron does not fist bump him, and that should immediately be assigned to Jason. Oh boy. Not only is my vote blocked, but now Aaron ain't want to even look at me. It's probably me. And Tommy looks to Aaron and is like, are we good? And Aaron's like, yeah, we're good. And the vote comes out 4-3, and Jason voted out of the Island of Idols. And he turns, he says, don't trust Aaron. And Aaron's kind of shaking his head like, ooh, whatever. And so I'm going to take this moment to talk about, is this the right move? I honestly think Jason was the wrong move. Because in the Vokai tribe, Jason's only ally in the grand scheme of it all was Nora. He was in the bottom of Vokai. So taking him out doesn't do much to them in the merge. Especially if, the Vokai now keeps winning and, the Lyra people get taken out. It's not going to matter much in the grand scheme of it all. Whereas, I really think the target should have been Tommy. Because, like I've said up to this point, Tommy's been playing the best game. He's the most cemented within the Vokai tribe. I think he's got fantastic relationships with everybody. He's a threat, and he should have been taken out here. And even someone like Lauren, who's, I think, going to make it very far because no one's looking at her as a threat. But she's very social and very strategic. I do think Jason was the wrong move. And I was sad to see him go. I liked Jason a lot, wanted to see him do better. But, at least he got to go out in such a grand way. Such a cool, memorable way. And honestly, at the end of all this, I think Aaron looks the worst, and I'll talk about that in a second. So I'm going to go on into the power rankings. We're going to start with the Lyro tribe, who we really didn't get to see much of. So I gave Nora a 3 out of 10 right now because I don't think she really has much of a chance of winning, but I think she'll probably make the final 3 because usually the annoying people or the people that get on people's nerves or the people who suck at challenges, they can make it past like the first 4 or 5 votes. They're in it for the long haul. Like they're either gonna be, Jillian from Gabon like out early, or Scout from Vanuatu, where they're just will not go away because they're gonna get drugged to the end because you can beat them. Jamal, I'm giving Jamal a 4 because in the previous next episode, it still looks like Nora and crew really do want to target Jamal. They really want to take him out before the merge. He is a big threat. He does have an immunity idol, and he is still kind of in an alliance with some people. Like, he has opportunity to stay in the game. But Jamal's got, I think, a long road, especially when the merge happens. Jamal has a long path to the end of the game, so I got to give him a 4. And next is Jack, and I gave Jack a 6 for many reasons. Now, when we get to the merge, Jack is going to have a longer road, but Jamal is taking all the heat. Really, like when they talk about going after Jack and Jamal, they really just mean they want to go after Jamal. So Jack, even though he is a super physical dude, going to be probably great at these immunity challenges and things, people are looking at Jamal. As long as Jamal is in the game, I think Jack's guaranteed to go to at least past Jamal. So I really think he's shielded and has, hopefully has some skills to win these immunities and can go deep here. Next is Janet, who I didn't see at all pretty much in this episode, but I give her a 7 because I didn't see her much in this episode, but when I do see her, she is very sociable and good at certain things. And I think Janet's going to be someone people forget about for a long time, and she could clutch win this game. Next up is Kelly, of someone I also gave a 7 to. Because on both sides, Lyro and Vokai, she has a lot of allies. And again, she's not someone who's going to be looked at immediately as like that's a threat kind of person. And, I do, and she has I think her idol's null and void now, though, but still, either way, like, she has a lot of tools, idols aside, to make it very far in this game. I think she's, at this point, guaranteed top 6. Like, I think Kelly has a fantastic chance. Dean, I gotta give him a 3. He has improved his status since being on Lyro, but it's still, uphill battle for Dean, and even if he makes it to the end, he has no case, really, to win it. Just like Nora, he's not completely out of the race yet, but it's pretty bad. Then it's Karishma, and I'm giving her a 1, because again, I think she will be in the final 3 because she's made it so far. I think she'll be in the final 3, but she will get 0 votes, so I think she's guaranteed 3rd place. I think Nora could get 1 vote and maybe get 2nd place, but I think she's gonna almost at this point guarantee a loss. Then we got Lauren, who I still give a 7. She, because even if Vokai loses again, I think they'll take out Dan or Tommy, and then the other one, like. Lauren, I think, will be the last one if they just lose out the wazoo. And then Tommy, I give a 6 to, which I gave him an 8 last time. It's a little bit of a fall from grace for Tommy because he got the reality check. And one of 2 things is going to happen to a player who gets reality checked. They're going to spiral out and die because they can't keep their emotions in check. But I think the latter will be Tommy, where he goes, oh shit, it was almost me. I could have gone home. I need to work harder, I need to be more aware, and I cannot get confident in this game. And if I think we have a more alert, more aware Tommy in the future, I really do think that he could clutch, like, win competitions when he needs to, form those relationships, and I think he could very well win this game still. Then we got Aaron, who, again, I think looked the worst in this episode, and I gave him a 3. Because Aaron, I think, pissed off both sides. Because he was because Vokai had Tribal kept trying to get reaffirmation from Aaron that he was voting with them. So I think that showed Missy, Elaine, and Elizabeth that, hey, Aaron was 100% not with us until he knew we had that block a vote. Can we trust him? And then he didn't vote with them and voted out Jason, so then that tells them, oh, he flipped on us after all, like, for days telling us, like, you know, I'm with you, but the second it didn't benefit him to be with us, out. So, you know, no one's going to trust Aaron, and the girls already didn't like Aaron. I think Aaron should have probably voted out Elaine, because he was on the complete bottom of the Lyros. It makes sense for him to go try to establish some relationships with Vokai. I think Tommy and him would have been close, and he could have worked his way up into that power dynamic. I think staying with Elaine and the girls just gets him, like, early merge boot. I really don't think Aaron's going to make it much farther. Maybe, like, 4 more episodes tops. And then he's gone. Missy and Elizabeth, I give an 8 to them both. Because, man, every time I think things are going to fall out of their control, they get control back. So I think Missy and Elaine have been Missy way more than Elaine, and Missy even went a little wishy-washy there for a while, but she still managed to get control. This one was Elaine's doing, but Elaine made sure it benefited Elizabeth and Missy. So, and even Aaron was like, I won't vote out Missy and Elizabeth. So I think they're in a great standing in this game. I don't think anyone's really coming for their heads, because I think Elaine's going to get the biggest credit for this move, and therefore put a bigger target on her than them. So I think they're looking great right now. Elaine, I got to give a 6 to, because she looks great after this move. I think she's got some longevity here, but I think she's going to get that Rupert Pearl Island spot where about a little bit into the merge, someone's like, we got to get her out now. And then they cut her. You know, one of the more strategically inept players, maybe a Tommy, maybe a Lauren, go cut that bitch and get her. Because Elaine does have that the likability to win the game in the end. I don't think anyone's going to let her get there, just like Rupert. And then finally, Dan, I gave a 4 to, because A's in a bad spot right now, and B, no one likes him. Like, even the people on Vokai don't really like him, and he does these random things, like, you know, the uncomfortable touching with the massages and the stuff, and all the going through the bags, and like he thinks he's so good at this game, but really he's really bad at it. It's just in no one's interest right now to take him out. So like I said, guys, that was episode 6. I really enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun with it. Cannot wait till next episode. Tune in next time. I'm Mac Taylor. And don't forget to like, subscribe, do all that stuff. We got plenty of videos coming out. I cannot wait to do this next time.